Here we are at the entrance to Hill House Wood. This is a 34-acre or 13.5-hectare fragment of ancient woodland that's been managed for timber over the centuries, with many old hazel coppices remaining today. One of its hallmarks is the variety of habitats within a relatively small area. The dominant canopy is mainly comprised of oak and ash trees, with a scattering of other species such as sweet chestnut. Along with the hazel, there are plenty of understory trees such as elder, hawthorn, holly and spindle. There are also 2 ponds, 2 streams and several open glades. In spring there's a good selection of flowers with many bluebells and an energetic population of singing birds. Frogs, newts and grass snakes live and hunt in the ponds, while the summer brings a variety of butterflies and other insects. In the autumn there can be plenty of fungi to be found, while throughout autumn and winter there are roving flocks of small birds feeding on seeds, berries and hidden insects. By the start of the year, hazel catkins are opening. In recent years, the wood has become increasingly popular as it provides a lovely walk that is accessible without being arduous. Inevitably, this brings with it some pressures. Bluebells are very susceptible to being killed by being crushed, so please do not walk on them, pose for a photo or have a picnic in the middle of them. They will die, I'm afraid. Similarly, the nightingales and blackcaps that breed in the wood build their nests low down, close to the ground. Unfortunately, this makes them vulnerable to disturbance from dogs rushing through the undergrowth, as dogs love to do. So it would really help these birds to survive if both visitors and dogs keep to the paths. I'm often asked about how the Friends of Hill House Wood came into being and when the wood became available for everyone to walk around. Well, it all started in 1993 when the then privately owned Hill House Wood was put up for sale. This was at a time when such pieces of woodland were being snapped up for possible commercial activities such as paintballing or motorcycle scrambling. As the parish council believed that such uses needed to be prevented, but felt that it was not the right body to take on the purchase and management of such a major asset, John Lander, a prominent resident, contacted the Woodland Trust to see if they would be interested in acquiring the wood. The Trust responded very positively by putting in a bid for the wood and launching a local appeal for funds, as well as putting £5,000 towards the asking price of £34,000. Letters were distributed to all West Bergholt residents, inviting pledges of donations, together with appeals through local papers. And 6 weeks later, on Christmas Eve 1993, the final donation of £1,000 was sent to the Trust to make up the total required. The amount raised included an extremely generous donation of £6,000 from the then Colchester Borough Council, and 20% of the households in the village contributed. Following the purchase, the Woodland Trust invited all contributors to a meeting to discuss the setting up of the Friends of Hill House Wood to look after the wood in accordance with the Trust's work plans. And so it was in early 1995 that the first meeting of the Friends was held. Part of the reason that we know so much about the wildlife of the wood is due to the work of local naturalist Joe Firmin, who spent much time recording it. In his memory, a walk in and around the wood has been created. You can find a link to it on our website. The next location of the guide is just a few yards into the wood by the information sign, here. It's what 3 words coordinates are: middle, standard, pronouns.